Grand day, everyone. Welcome to Wealth Academy Podcast with your host, Paul Lawrence Van. We all know that wealth is more than just money, and today we have an expert on, a leadership and gratitude expert by the name of Dr. Angela J. Buckley. She is an extraordinary individual. You are going to learn a lot from her today. So glad that you could be with us. And for those of you who are in LinkedIn, post your comments and we will reference them directly to Dr. Angela. Dr. Angela Buckley, good day to you. How are you doing today?
I am fine, thank you. We are having a break between all of the storms, so life is good from our perspective.
Fantastic, fantastic. Glad to have you here. And she is someone that I've really been looking forward to interviewing because she has just a background and expertise that is really off the scales. So today we get an opportunity to talk with her, and we'll start out with her intro. Today on the podcast, I'm thrilled to welcome Dr. Angela J. Buckley, a world-class leadership and gratitude expert who helps organizations build high trust, reduce turnover, and guide leaders to create thriving workplaces. Through her work, Dr. Buckley bridges the science of gratitude with the art of leadership, showing leaders how to bring out the best in their people and drive sustainable success. We're going to dive into powerful strategies, some real world stories, and why gratitude might just be the leadership superpower. I repeat, superpower most organizations are overlooking. And Dr. Buckley, welcome to the show. And it's an honor to have you here. But before you start, I want to say that she graduated from the Ohio State University. Welcome.
Thank you. That is true. I have a few of those degrees over there. So, Paul, it's such an honor to have this conversation with you today. I'm excited to explore this topic with you. You know, we have spoken in a few other forums together as well, and just looking forward to sharing with your audience a little bit more.
Fantastic, fantastic. Just wanted to let you know that we have a LinkedIn user by the name of Cecilia from Florence, Italy, that is saying hello to both of us and glad to be listening to us. She really wants to learn more from you.
Excited to share what I have to offer.
Okay.
So thanks for joining, Cecilia.
Okay, fantastic. I want to start out with you in regards to where you're from. How did you get started? What was the inspiration for your academic aspirations? I would love to, and the listeners would love to hear more about that, and then we'll get started.
So it's a little non-traditional, Paul. I lived in Germany when I was in high school, and when I returned, I won a scholarship from Congress. We have an exchange program called Congress Bundestag, so the two parliaments exchange students. And so I was awarded one of those and lived with a family again. And then when I came back, I was like, look, I could graduate college really fast because I already speak German, right? I'll just take a German degree. But I was already in the engineering college.
Okay.
And the German professor was like, I don't think so. He's like, why? So he's like, if you're failing out of your engineering classes, I'll let you drop them and be a German major, but otherwise, no. So instead I have an engineering degree, a German degree, a master's in engineering. And during my master's program, part of the work was conducted in Germany for US Car.
Oh, wonderful.
And what happened there was that all three of the big three, so Ford, GM, and Chrysler, had so when you do US Car, when you do some of these technological sharings, you also have the right to withhold information because, of course, you don't want to be sharing competitive advantages. Like there's this, so you can only do certain research, right? Yeah, so you can only do certain research, and it has to be government supported, or some of these trade groups get away with this information sharing.
Sure.
And they all looked at the data and they said, no, you can't share this one thing. And of course, it was the one thing that was the most common between all three, had nothing to do, in truth, with the target of our research,
Sure.
because it was an engineering focus. So all of them allowed us to twiddle dials, but none of them allowed us to talk about the people.
Okay.
And yet we left about 10 to 20% improvement opportunities on the table for all three of them because we didn't talk about the people stuff.
Sure.
So, yay, I have this very technical master's degree that very few people have read, and yet people know of in the field, right? But the real learning is all of the information that we are willing to ignore so that we can focus on technical and not on the people systems.
Got it.
And that defined the arc of my engineering career. I am a continuous improvement Lean Six Sigma black belt.
Yeah.
And I can improve your processes. I'm very good. I can save you a lot of money in your organization. And yet, if your people are not involved in that transformation, if this is not truly a cultural change, I'll walk out the door and everything will revert back.
Absolutely.
Right? So we can put the changes on, but if the changes aren't maintained, what's the point? And so I started working more and more, trying to learn, how do we help the people change? What does change look like? What does culture look like? And how do we help people learn and feel comfortable? Like, there's a lot about that change is uncomfortable. So how do we get people comfortable with change where they feel more secure because they have changed instead of secure in their own ways?
Right. And the last thing that people want to do sometimes is change.
Right. The last thing people want to do frequently is change. And yet the change is, in fact, what makes you more secure.
Absolutely.
So my PhD is far more focused on people, on change, on skills acquisition. It is generally a focus on hourly manufacturers, but a lot of those lessons translate out as well.
Oh, definitely. Thank you so much for that background. And it's very rich in terms of your academics, your experience, and also that collaboration between the universities and the different governments and the industries as well. Car industry is a big industry. And of course, the wonderful country of Germany, of which I've been there many times. My brother was there in Stuttgart, so I went to visit him. So thank you so much for that. So what led to your focus, your life work on leadership and gratitude? Because that's what people really want to know about, that bridge and that gap between those two. Because people don't really talk about it that much. You don't hear that much about it. How do you project this reality to the organizations that you work with?
It's a really great question. And the fact is that I was not good at communicating my gratefulness to people, right? So I always thought to myself, I'm really grateful for him, or I thought thanks, and I said thanks, like please and thank you. So I'm polite, but polite is actually not expressing gratitude. And so I walked out the door one day as a continuous improvement manager, and I had literally an award-winning team. My team won many local and international awards. Very, very successful team that we were able to put together. Very proud of the work that they did. And I walked out the door one day and I said, "Thanks, guys. It was a great day." Right? Fantastic team. I could say that every day. And my teammate said, "For what? It was not a great day." So that immediately will tell you that there is honesty between us on that team. And it caused me to stop short. And I'm like, okay, clearly I didn't tune into whatever was going on for him or them that day. And my day went very differently. So we chatted and I learned what they were facing. And truthfully, you get to a point where there's division of labor in teams, right? People are doing certain things. And I more frequently interfaced with the CEO, and they were more frequently interfacing with where the change was truly happening, like dealing with the obstacles. And clearly that particular day was one of the rougher days in change management.
Uh-huh.
And he had caught an earful from a maintenance guy.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the maintenance
Listen,
folks, they want the business too.
it is what it is, right? Like
Yeah.
we live this. It happens. I've certainly had my fair share of ear chewing from people as we go through
Mhm.
change. It was just
And that's all learning. That's
his
all learning.
his turn in the barrel. That's right.
Yeah.
But in the interest of not being tone deaf, right? It's our
Mhm.
job as leaders and managers to hear what's going on a daily basis and not just throw out platitudes of thank you.
Yeah.
So I do what I love to do, a little bit of academic thrown in with a little bit of pragmatic, and turned to the research books and really learned how to express thankfulness in a way that touches them, right? That really is being very specific. And so through that exercise of putting it together, how do I say thank you in a way that is truly impactful? Um, I also learned that in general, you can also use this as a feedback formula. And I'm a big fan of mnemonics
Sure.
frameworks because it's easier for people to memorize, right?
Absolutely.
And I'll just say I was grateful as I was going through a variety of exercises to come up with a mnemonic that the spirit is like a great word. It's
Mhm.
very fitting. You can tie it together in different ways, and it just works. And conveniently, it works reasonably well in Spanish as well.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is that when I tried to explain leadership to people, that in your capacity, when you were working with your team, you were a leader too. They were leaders,
Always there,
supervisors.
absolutely. I have a team of leaders.
Everybody's leaders. Yeah,
Mhm.
everyone in the organization is a leader. And for them, their day to not be as good as your day was at that particular moment, that really was gave you the opportunity to go through that feedback loop.
Yes, yes, right. And the
Yeah,
honesty, I appreciate honesty
absolutely.
anyways. Like I'll accept it. Um, so that is the turning point in how did I, I mean, I truly like I have a great team. I love those people still. I don't see
Yeah.
them as much. We chat from time to time, see connections on Facebook or something, but um, it's truly one of my favorite teams that I had work
Fan-
for me.
Fantastic. Nothing beats experience.
Yep. Yep.
So you're known for helping organizations build high trust teams. Let's talk about that a bit in terms because right now, given the workforce and the workplaces in the United States and other countries, it's really up against some challenges because the dynamics, organization structures are changing, leadership is changing. Let's talk about building high trust teams and the value that that adds to organizations.
Money, straight up money.
Mhm.
The productivity and the creativity and the innovation that is associated with a high functioning team is difficult to assess, but it's difficult to assess in the moment, but what happens as soon as they're disassembled, right? Once you take them apart and you lose it.
Mhm.
So that's probably the biggest challenge when it comes to the assessment of teams. You have to look at a good team and a bad team or a before and after. It's difficult to truly like get that picture in that moment.
Mhm.
Um, I am a DISC authorized partner with the high performing teams, the
Yeah,
5 behaviors of high performing teams. So from David Lencioni in his book,
yeah, yeah.
and
Wonderful book.
it is a great book,
I
right?
have it.
I'm sorry.
I have the book. Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah.
I'll say I like the training better than the book.
Uh,
The training is excellent, and it does take time. It's not something that happens it's not like a one day
overnight.
rodeo.
Mhm.
This takes time.
Yeah,
First of all, it's learning of the skills, but it's also learning of accountability between team members
yes,
and that conversation and that honesty and the vulnerability associated with working together is really where you see the secret sauce.
got it. Yeah.
Um, right. So it's reliability, of course, but
Mhm.
that accountability of hey, I have a problem, or the vulnerability of I have a problem and you're an expert in this, but it's on my task. Can you help me? What am I missing? Let's take a look. I'm a big fan of the designated no. Are you familiar with the designated naysayer?
Yes.
Okay, right. So I'm a big fan of having one person coming in who is tracking and one person, and these are roles that should be rotated from
Within
meeting
your
to
organization.
meeting, right? Shouldn't be the same person all the time, but there is value in having somebody go through the exercise of
Mhm.
what could go wrong.
Mhm.
No, what could go wrong? I don't see it that way because, and again, it's important not to have that as the same person every time,
Right. Right. And
because
this
they
I
become seen as the negative Nancy as opposed to helpful.
exactly. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because you have a new set of eyes looking at it. And when you
Right.
have a new set of eyes, you have new experiences. It goes into the training one has received and also in their experiences as well.
Well, and when we talk about diversity, and I am a huge advocate for diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, um, one of the number one things that I think that we miss for the people who don't understand the importance of it is that perspective.
Mhm.
Speaking as a 5'1" female engineer, right? Like there are a lot of vehicles in the United States that I would drive if you were to ask me about my personality, but I will not drive because they don't fit me. I
Sure.
literally cannot reach the pedals in some
Mhm.
cases.
Mhm.
And yet I'll tell you, there's one automotive company that has done a fantastic job for females driving trucks,
Uh-huh.
and the other ones are not American companies, right?
Company,
So
exactly.
it is possible to design
Sure.
seats that will fit and
That's
accommodate a broader spectrum of the people,
people.
but you have to decide that you're going to want that, and that means generally you need to have that perspective in the room.
Sure. And there's
Some
a market
companies have
for
done a great job with that, and others have been more
it.
resistant.
Exactly. And there's a market for it as well.
There is a huge market for women
Huge
driving
market.
trucks. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And you see more women driving now, but not as many as should be. And again, part of it is what you just stated.
Trust me.
Looking at,
If
yeah,
I can't reach, what's the point?
well,
It's not
right.
safe. Or I can't
Absolutely.
see. So
Mhm.
I got in a vehicle. It's actually same maker. It was a GM vehicle.
Uh-huh.
The body type was similar,
Sure.
but one had, for me, the worst blind spots. And then
Uh-huh.
I got in the next year's model, and I
Sure.
was like, this is completely different experience. Even
Exactly.
though size-wise they were comparable, they were
Sure.
in the same class,
Mhm.
but it makes a huge difference on being able to adjust and see and be safe, right?
Absolutely.
So the
Yes.
size,
With me, I went to the car show here in Washington, D.C., and I got
mhm,
into a Corvette and I almost couldn't get out.
yes,
Angela, I was in my daughter, I said, help me to get out of this car because, again, as you stated, structure wise, it didn't fit me. I'm a
yep,
taller fellow.
yep,
And
yep.
yeah, yeah.
And the Corvettes are always a little bit. I'll remember the first time I drove my mom in a Corvette, and she was like, "Can't get out."
Uh-huh.
And she's very athletic, so she could, but she never had sat in
Sure.
that laid
And that,
back, right? Like it's a very sporty,
uh-huh.
acquired position.
Leaning back, enjoying the ride.
Or going fast, but
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe I might have gone fast.
Absolutely. So let's transition just a bit in terms of companies who struggle with high turnover. And I know, at least if we looked at the US and the federal government, it's not really turnover, it's no longer employed. But for the companies that still exist and the turnover aspect, what are some reasons for the turnover and your ability to turn them around to retain their top talent?
Ultimately, the question really comes down to leadership. Does leadership want to listen to their employees, right?
Absolutely.
If you're a leader who's walking around saying nobody wants to work anymore,
Sure.
you're already closed off to the solutions.
Yes. Yes. The door is
Also,
closed.
the door is closed. I have also heard many leaders walk around saying, well, everyone should think like an entrepreneur,
Sure.
and yet we don't treat the people like entrepreneurs. Like one of the reasons entrepreneurs go into work for themselves is not to work fewer hours,
Hours, right.
but we do have more freedom in choosing which hours we're going to work.
Yeah.
And for me, that means starting at 4 a.m., but by 1 o'clock, like
Wow.
today, this will be the extension of my day. I'm
Yeah.
tired,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
I'm an early riser as well.
So you'll see that like entrepreneurs do not work
Work.
fewer hours, they work different
Work.
hours.
Oh,
And there's a little more flexibility in that. And as a result, you're driving your energy levels and your creativity levels. So that's not always possible, especially in manufacturing and in
Right.
service industries. You have to cover hours. Don't get me wrong.
For sure.
However, if your people are not thinking like entrepreneurs, then you also have to understand that they are also probably not working in their prime creativity hours. The other thing that adds to a lot of the stressors is that we do have a more divided workforce. And by divided, I mean diverse, and
Sure.
those reasons that they are struggling to come into work are very different.
Different.
We
Yes.
have more generations in our workforce today than any other time,
Yeah.
right? Like I literally got off the phone
Indeed.
recently with an 80-year-old who is still working.
Mhm.
You walk into Walmart and you know that some of these greeters are well over 70.
For sure.
And yet you have kids entering the workforce at 14 and 15.
15. Yes.
So consider that
Great divide.
seven generations.
Yeah.
And when we say that we're struggling with communications or we're struggling with, like, some of these people have lived through world wars
For sure.
and famine, and other ones during their most critical social skill development
Uh-huh.
spent the year in the bedroom because it was COVID.
Yes.
So
And that
and
shift.
those
Wow.
kids are entering the workforce, and we're seeing that they need more coaching
Coaching.
to
Right.
be professional.
Communication skills, being to work on time, um, not being in the face of the phone so much, but
That's
actually getting the
that
work done.
that's a big deal, but their communication is
Yeah.
actually with their friends
Right.
via the phone
The
and
other phone.
even their coworkers,
For
right?
sure. Absolutely. Instead of calling, picking up the phone, calling, or going directly face to face, they want to text.
Yeah, I mean, don't call me. But I would go face to face. I would
Yeah,
any
me too.
day go face to face
Me
over
too.
picking up the phone. So,
Absolutely.
right,
Yes.
like everyone has their preference in addition to.
Absolutely. Yeah, me, as far as production, I was an employee with Mobile Oil Company in Texas, one of the professional workers, but I actually worked at a physical plant. So I saw that side of it with the chemical engineers and
Mhm.
with the maintenance personnel. And that was interesting. And then when I was in college, I was with UPS. So there was some more
Yes.
designated hours where you had to be there. And a
You
lot of that has changed. Yeah.
It's very difficult. So, I recently, it was a while ago, but I was interviewing to hire,
Sure.
and the lady had already worked there in the past.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, "Well, why are you interviewing to come here?" And she's like, "Well, I liked it, but I
Sure.
couldn't work the hours. I
Ah,
couldn't put my kids on the school bus."
right.
So she was
And that's
working,
important. That's
right?
important. Yeah.
And she couldn't get her kids on the school bus, so she literally had to quit the job, go down the street,
Sure.
and then when her kids no longer needed school bus support, she came back to the company. And the
Yeah.
company is like, see, we did fine. And my perspective is you just lost a fantastic employee for 6 years.
Yeah.
And all of the productivity and like loyal and
Not
knowledgeable, like a hard worker, and not just a
exactly.
person, right?
And
Like
then
if you see someone as just a number, that's
right.
where that's where you start running into turnover issues.
That's it,
Humans do not want to feel like numbers.
for sure. And when you look at the aspect of most employees for a physical company, a plant or some other type of manufacturing business, they're part of the community.
They are.
So they're taxpayers and they go to schools together, house of worship together,
Yes.
entertainment. So it's a full community in which they're dealing with this woman. That's exactly what that was. They were dealing with a community.
And what we've seen, and this is not new research at
Yeah.
all, but once you break trust in the community,
Community.
You
Yes,
have lost your high quality workers,
for sure.
and they don't come back for generations.
And they tell other people about that experience as well.
They
They
don't
share
come
that.
back for generations. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's right.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So, some of these organizations have gone from waiting lists to we can't hire anybody,
Uh-huh.
or you hire the next breathing person, whether they're skilled or not. And that becomes seriously problematic.
Hmm. Yes,
So,
fantastic. Yeah.
and so turnover doesn't have to be. So the cost of turnover
Oh,
is right. That's different than what's happening in the US government. The US government,
right.
however you want to play with the politics, it was a
Mhm.
calculated decision to reduce overhead.
Right. Absolutely.
That is not turnover,
Correct.
right?
Absolutely.
Turnover is when you
Yeah,
as the organization are not in control of who's leaving.
exactly. Yeah.
Some of that is normal, right?
Sure.
So we talk about normal attrition, people age out.
Like,
There is a point where, like,
actually,
it,
lack of professional growth, pay, salary, and benefits.
yes. So,
Uh,
and also, like, you often
mhm.
create a space like three people will be competing for the next promotion. One
Correct.
person gets it. Often one will stay, and often one will leave.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Because they feel
So, and
so to speak.
and you have to plan for that. Like, you
Mhm.
absolutely, a successful org development team will be looking and expecting one of your three to leave, even if you don't want them to.
For sure.
But you know that if you're having competitions and heir apparents and these types of things, eventually there is natural attrition at that level, because there is only so far that you can go. You can't bring everybody up.
For
There's a
sure.
reason org charts go up in pyramids, not flat up, right?
Absolutely.
So, those things are normal. This is healthy organizational development.
Yeah.
And if you manage that correctly, the person that left leaves on good terms. They
Mhm.
knew where they were standing. They knew that they were in competition, and and they still have fond relationships of the people back in their organization.
For
Like, that's
sure.
that's ideal, because when people are asking around in the industry, where should you go work,
Mhm.
having those positive stories carry. Again, they carry into generations.
Exactly. Absolutely.
So the turnover that becomes problematic is, we call, in some cases, we call it churn. So churn
Sure.
is the
Yes.
areas that are under 90 days,
Mhm.
coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out.
Right.
That often means that there is a problem with the job,
Mhm.
maybe with the workforce and the onboarding, but also with the job. So you can take a look at that. Are you bringing people on correctly? But
Good.
if you do have an onboarding problem and there's one position that's continually turning over, then that particular one you go and you study from a
Mhm.
workforce development perspective, but also from an EHS, right, an
Good.
ergonomics perspective. What
Right.
is happening? Are we building them up physically so that they're prepared for the work?
Mhm.
Some of this work is more physical, right? And that is different. Also, we don't have people that have been working farms and coming into factories anymore. That used to be the day, and the factory
Absolutely.
was easier work than the farm.
That's right.
Now
That's changed.
that has
Information.
changed. And we're not taking farmers into factories. We're taking city dwellers into factories.
Yeah.
And with all of the technology that they've been learning in school, they don't have the same physical buildup.
Exactly. Like they have in the
And
past.
and
Absolutely.
we do often have to think about this almost as an athlete, right? Like,
Sure.
as an athlete, I talk about, okay, we're going to build and pause and build and pause and
Mhm.
build and pause. That's how you build these gains. It's far more difficult to have that conversation with people
Yeah.
in the manufacturing setting, because I need you to make 98%, right? Like,
Absolutely.
sorry,
Hard work.
it is. It is hard work.
Hard work. Yeah.
But learning how to build and have programs that build people up to speed is very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, one of the things that you do, and you do it with excellence, is you empower leaders to create thriving cultures. Let's talk about that just a bit, because again, when we look at an organization, it's really a community into itself. It's a culture unto itself.
It is, and that's right where I was going to go next. So perfect question. Thank you,
Okay,
Paul.
sure.
That's the other thing that we start looking at. Once you've kind of like figured out the job and the knowledge associated with the job and the physicality of it, then you start talking about the culture. And do people know how to offer gratitude? Do people know how to give feedback? Do you know how to hold people accountable correctly?
Yes.
Like not just yelling at people, but truly what does accountability look like?
Yeah.
And do you know how to run a meeting? Do you even, in fact, run a meeting, right? And do these people understand what the work is that they're doing and how it impacts the overall pay?
Okay. Exactly.
Right. The success of the company depends on the people on the floor.
And then getting to generate the revenue.
They're generating the revenue, and quality matters a lot. Quantity matters, quality matters more.
Yes. Yes. Especially in the sense of the competition, whoever the competition is in the particular industry. It definitely matters. It makes a difference. And also what makes that difference is who the leader is. And as you stated, are they communicating the vision and the mission and the goals to the managers and the employees and our subcontractors as well?
Right. And in fact, that is one of the things that we talk about, even with the spirit of acknowledgement, is can you tell the story? So a manager, the more successful you become, the more critical it becomes for you to be able to tell the story between the employee's actions and the outcome and the vision of the company.
Yeah.
And when you use the spirit method, it will help you write that story succinctly.
Yes. Yes. You have to be able to tell that story. That's the lifeline of the company.
It is.
Yeah. It's
It
the
is.
lifeline.
Yeah. How are your day-to-days impacting the overall metrics? And being able to express that cleanly, quickly, and in a personal way, in a personal manner, really matters.
Absolutely. For sure. So let's use an example of if a team is struggling, let's say if they have low morale or there's some conflict within the organization or on the teams, what first steps do you recommend leaders take to turn things around? Because that can happen on occasion. And we want to have an outlet if a leader encounters this on their teams or in the workplace.
Sure. I mean, I start with one-on-ones. If we're already seeing conflict, I need to have one-on-ones. And I am a big fan of kind of problem statements and then refined problem statements. So you'll hear my engineering come out here a little bit. But asking the questions of who, what, where, when, why, how, if you're going to talk about a specific event, this matters. Are you also familiar with SCARF? I do a little bit of talking about SCARF in some of my social media posting, where you talk about what that resistance is to change. But if you can bring the SCARF into some of your problem solving, problem defining, it will help you get to the bottom root of the emotional part of what's happening. So when we talk about the SCARF, we talk about status, the certainty, like how comfortable a person feels, like not shifting sand sort of. Autonomy, so they want to be able to make decisions about their day-to-day. Relatedness is sort of like where do you fit in other people's relevance and does it even work for you? And then fairness.
Yes.
And so like that's not my model. It's been out there, it's been posted for many years, but using it in these kind of conversations is very helpful. And to understanding where that other person is coming from. Recently, we did an exercise at one of the workshops that I was running, and I asked them, what are you afraid of and what makes you feel seen?
Yes.
And we sometimes need to just get that understanding of that personality. And, you know, not everybody is going to be immediately vulnerable and just
open about it.
So you have to build those relationships and also be aware of, like, there's a time and a place.
For sure.
You don't need to be
Not,
asking that
not in,
across the room. You don't need,
right,
and you probably shouldn't be asking that in the heat of the moment,
right.
right?
Yeah,
So
you have to
the,
have the emotional
the
intelligence.
objective is
Yeah.
to get to know your employees
Oh, yes.
one-on-one before the conflict
Oh,
arises, so
absolutely.
that you already have a fundamental base.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's absolutely a great way to do it. I know there used to be a time, let's say, for example, I was in the military 22 years. Prior to me getting there, they would dress a person down in front of everyone. They don't do that anymore because it's not safe.
Well, and
So,
it doesn't lead to psychological safety either, right?
absolutely, it doesn't. I use example if I was at UPS, we never really had problems because we were so busy working. So we didn't have the problems.
There are sometimes problems because people are so fatigued
Indeed. Yeah.
that emotions do blow up as well. So,
Oh, yeah.
and the
Absolutely.
heat, like, there is a lot to be said for the heat fatigue
Sure.
and scarcity mindset, making decisions when the pressure is
No
too high.
pressure. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Well, thank you so much for that. Let's move on to the section of this podcast, and we're going to talk about Dr. Angela Buckley now and some of
Oh,
the amazing things that she does. Let's
okay.
talk about your book a bit. If you could share with us about your book, because I want people to know something about that as well.
Sure. So right now, it is in ebook status, and you
Yes.
can pick it up from my website somewhere. But it is talking about recognition and results, and has a bunch of great stories, but also a bunch of great statistics in there on how, when you introduce gratitude as an organizational value,
Okay.
there's money. Like, it's easy money because people are feeling more culturally attuned,
Yeah.
because they're feeling recognized, and because they're feeling seen.
Mhm.
That reduces that scarcity mindset. It builds the psychologically safe workspace, and in turn, people work more productively. You'd
Yes.
think I've never said that word before, but people work more productively when they feel safe, when they feel calm,
Um,
when their body is in a state of regulation.
right.
And offering recognition and gratitude to your employees allows them to regulate.
Absolutely. Yes. And that they're holding different events. Office may just shut down just a bit just to recognize. For example, we used to have organizational excellence type events. And
Hmm.
our organization in military, we would win an award. And a lot of it was based on TQM, total quality management,
Yep.
the Dr. Deming.
I might know a few things. I probably have a signed book or
Absolutely.
two back here from Dr. Deming.
Me too. And I met him in Philadelphia when I
Nice.
was going through the program. And that's a really great model as well, because he,
Yep.
of course, went to Japan and he helped them with their systems over there. But
Because we didn't want to listen to him here.
exactly, which made it didn't make much sense, but he proved his point in time. So thank
Well,
goodness.
as my cousin will tell you, it's biblical. You can't be
Yeah,
a prophet in your own land. So,
there you go. I like that. Okay, so let's talk about your podcast.
okay, thank you for mentioning that. So, Voices in Leadership is a live podcast. We do post that on LinkedIn and YouTube, and I try to get it out to Facebook, but Facebook
Sure.
hasn't been playing nice all the time.
Yeah.
Um, so, I invite industry leaders
Mhm.
to come and share their thought leadership with us. The
Yes.
reason that we are live is that we invite people to have questions, and what do they want to know, and how can we answer them in that moment, and then it goes back out as a podcast the following week.
Oh, fantastic. Now, I signed up to be a viewer of it and subscriber of it. However, my schedule threw me off, but the next time you have a podcast and you bring a guest on, I'll be there.
Okay, Friday.
I'll be there.
I think it's Friday at 1 o'clock. I gotta
Yeah.
go check my calendar.
Okay.
But
Fantastic.
yes,
So,
in fact, it is Friday at 1 o'clock.
Friday at 1 o'clock. Okay, 1 o'clock. I won't be able to make this Friday because I'm doing the keynote address. I'll do it
Oh, for
at
Blue. Mhm.
next time. Right.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
I'll be on.
they'll be out. They'll be out there. We're not
Okay.
stopping anytime soon.
Okay, fantastic. Now you are the recipient of a United Nations award. Would you like to share that with us as well, Dr. Angela?
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. The United Nations Global Peace Council looks for global leaders who are making a positive change in their immediate areas. And so I was recognized as one. Um, I am a member of the Global Women Speakers, and it is an organization that works closely with the Global Council, Peace Council. And so within that, I think there were 3 of us that were recognized for our expertise, and mine was specifically gratitude and leadership expert.
Oh, wonderful. Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
You know, that's not a small thing, it's a big thing.
It's a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I was very, it's a little surreal. It was great. We did the whole picture on the billboard in Times Square, and my cousins, I have 2 cousins that happen to live in New York City, so they came as well. And, it's always nice to have a little family by your side.
Oh, for sure. Especially in New York. I have so many family members there. People thought I lived there.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, New York is really nice. I love that city. So fantastic. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about, which I kept telling people, you're going to learn something about Dr. Buckley that you never knew. And of course, it's that you are a Team USA track athlete.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I told people in the promotion that she can help improve your life. So
I,
please share what that experience is like. I've been on a team triathlon before.
okay. Did you run? What did you do?
I did the run. I
You
had
did the
one
runner.
team members swim a mile in the ocean, the Caribbean. Another one rode the bike 26.2 miles, the distance of a marathon. So share with us what that experience is like. And you're going through that training now.
I am. So I just love it. It brings me a lot of joy. I will tell you, the age group triathletes. So I'm aging up a little bit, but it's generally recognized by like the women, the 50 and over women, all the way up, like amazing people. Like there is a smile on course all the time.
Yes.
And they are the ones, like we're really the veterans that help. It's so interesting. Between the men, between the women, the youngsters or whatever, there's this group of joy. You can always see where we are. So the way they start our times is often based on the number of people, so that you don't have too many people in the water at one time. So different races, you'll see this age group starting at different times, just depending on the way people show up or register for a race. But you always know where that group is, because there's a little prayer group somewhere. There are people sharing fingernails, and like they go all out for red, white, and blue fingernails. I have blue sparkles today. But the sharing and the caring, and when you're in transition, right? So depending on the size of the race, we either have to set the bikes up the day before. Smaller races we can set up that day, but national and world international races, you're setting up in advance.
Yeah, and they have to check for the quality of the water for sure. I know that
quality of water, also our uniforms. You have to be wearing your team federation uniform, so you have to show that. You have to have the right helmet. There's safety built into all of our checks as well.
Absolutely. So that's the health and wellness.
Bike check is real. That's the real reason the bigger ones are doing the day before, because you're literally going to have a safety inspection of 2,000 bikes.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
But they're not checking your gears, but they're checking basics.
Yeah, it's really a health and wellness issue, mind, body, spirit, and soul when you triathlon for sure.
Yes. So learning, I'll just say that if you can do some of those distances, you can pretty much do anything. So there's a lot to be said for, you see a big difference between your first timers even first 1, 2, or 3 times, and the people who are truly out there as a lifestyle.
Absolutely.
The calmness, like there's still the excited nerves that you need for like a great performance,
Right.
but there's also a calm and a willingness to help. And I am already, my stuff is already laid out. So yes, I can help you because I've done it so many times, it becomes very routine.
Absolutely.
And then there's, you'll see again, your more advanced racers, seasoned racers will be doing some mental visualizations. You'll hear affirmations and sharing of affirmations. This is what works for me.
Mental toughness.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Mental toughness, you should have been practicing all along. But affirmations, because every day brings something different, you know, like I showed up to one race and there were jellyfish everywhere.
Yes.
And you just have to decide you're going to get in and go, right?
That's right.
So learning how to regulate, like emotionally regulate so that your body is prepared for its best performance on any given day. And also understanding endurance racing is different than sprint racing from the perspective of we have A, B, and C races, and it's very important to race at the right level for that day so that your A race is your truly like best time.
Right.
So throughout the season, we create that mental toughness of what the effort is going to be. This is a training race. This is a focus on my run race. This is a focus on my nutrition race, so that the A race, you pull it all together.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And you're making a difference in the lives of others, including me, because I've worked out, but not like I used to. I need to get back to the hard workouts.
Well, and the discipline of working out at the right intensity.
Exactly. Because I'm not planning on going to the Olympics other than to observe.
I sent my partner a text message. I said, here are the dates. So the 2028 Olympics in LA.
That's right, LA.
The first medal ceremony will be for triathlon.
Exactly.
For those who care, I'm wearing my team
I'll be out
right there for you.
Yeah.
So I already sent a message over and it said, do we have a date?
Yeah, exactly. I need a specific date, hotel, air,
I'm like,
restaurants.
We'll be using your hotel points, so figure this out right now.
Absolutely. So in parting, I would love for you to provide some comments in terms of people who are listening now, some of the leaders that are out there in the corporations, small business owners, women entrepreneurs, that you can encourage them to keep going from a leadership perspective and from a gratitude perspective.
So that's a great question. When things feel tough, we know that movement is actually one of the biggest ways to get through some of that toughness. And that means going straight through a storm is often the shortest way through. It also means understanding truly the physicality of our humanness and using our largest muscles, that's glutes and quads, by the way, actually triggers a mind-body connection that will reduce anxiety, reduce the symptoms of depression. And so if you're at a point where you're feeling anxious, that's different than anxiety, right?
Exactly.
You can really move through that by simply making sure that you are going through a physical routine. When you least feel like it is probably when you need to do it most.
Very true.
So sometimes that is a motivation and discipline conversation with yourself. I don't want to probably means you should.
Good. Exactly.
I would also encourage entrepreneurs in particular to make sure you get enough rest.
Yes.
It is okay to take a down day.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for that. Now, I know what I want the listeners to appreciate is the fact that our amazing guest today, Angela J. Buckley, Dr. Buckley has really provided us with some really expertise that we can all use and apply as entrepreneurs, as corporate leaders, nonprofits, education, and more. And she's not going to leave you without providing you a free gift. And we're going to put this up here right now, how you can connect with her. And if you would share just a little bit, Dr. Buckley, about your free gift.
Sure. It's a 7-day email class. It walks through the spirit of acknowledgement.
Mhm.
And so each day kind of talks about who and then how and what does spirit stand for. And so it helps you create and craft that acknowledgement statement. And, at the beginning, this takes a little bit of effort. And just like anything, once you get practiced, it becomes something that becomes very innate. Um, and so sometimes we spend a little more time on it up front. That's what the 7-day email class is about. And it will help walk through that process. And if you have any questions, all you need to do is hit reply and it'll come right to my inbox.
Fantastic. And they can get it at www.strengthandnature.com. I'll repeat it again, www.strengthandnature.com.
Yep.
Dr. Buckley, the 7-day email class, The Spirit of Acknowledgement. And one of the things I want to say in parting is to thank you so much. Again, our honored guest, as you can see here, Dr. Angela J. Buckley. And we hope to hear more from you. And we'll have more people following you. Our fans there in Florence, Italy, bid adieu to us both. But they wanted you to know that they really appreciated everything that you provided today. And there will be more people saying the same thing as well.
Thank you, Paul, for having me. I have enjoyed getting to know you over the past few months and look forward to co-creating with you in the future.
Yes, fantastic. Again, everyone, we have Dr. Angela J. Buckley, and she is a leadership and gratitude expert. And we appreciate everything that she provided today. It was an honor to have her here. So go out on wherever you get your podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music. Get out there, rate and review this particular episode, which is episode 299, and give her a 5-star rating. She's doing exceptional work, and we want to follow her not only now, but in the future. My time is up, and I thank you for yours. Have a great day. I'll see you all on the next episode of Wealth Academy Podcast. Have a great day, Dr. Angela. We
Thank
enjoyed
you.
it. Thank
Have
you
a
so
great day.
much. Okay, you too. Thank you.